Hi, folks. This is Dr. Mike, and this is lecture number 4 of week 1, where we'll talk about chapter 4 in our business communications. I hope that something has been said this week that will bring to mind things that you need when you're working on your own work, preparing for your career. Professionalism is something that we learn. It's not something we're inborn with, and so we have to be our very best and do all that we can to reach our goals, to be better professionals. And so communication is a key part of that strategy. It's one you'll be hammered with over and over again in work training. And I hate to tell you, but you will never be without a class again the rest of your life, because you'll always having to be updated and catch up on the things that are going on just within your field. And your employer will spend quite a bit of money explaining to you, teaching you about communications and how to be the very best communicator that you can be. So having said that, we will go to our chapter 4 outlook today and talk to you about some how to revise business messaging that needs to be some revision. Always check, double check. As we saw in one of the slides, 50% of our labors ought to be in revising, rewriting, clarifying, checking for errors, and that's always interesting and very important. Complete business messages by revising for conciseness. Say it in as few words as possible, which involves eliminating, rather flabby expressions, long lead-ins, there is or are, it is or was, fillers, redundancies, empty words, as well as condensing for microblogging. One thing I'll say about that while we are talking, never use textese or text language in a formal written communication because that is just not done. I have students all the time who revert to textese when writing a research paper. That is not the place to do that. So you have to make decisions in your work to understand when to use things, how to use things, what kind of message you're writing, who you're writing to. All these revisions are important if you're going to be an effective communications person. Taking the time to revise, most people want to do something, send it out, and just let it go. 9 times out of 10, when I do that, there will be typos or misspelled words or subject-verb agreement. There'll be something in there that will be, it would be embarrassing for other people to get it. So we saw the 3 parts of the writing process, the 3 by 3, pre-writing, drafting, and then revising. Revising is where you improve your content, you improve your sentence structure, proofreading for correct grammar, for spelling, for punctuation, for format, and for mechanics. And you say, well, I'm not going to be an English teacher. Why should I care? Writing and communicating are valid points for any field that you're going into, and revising takes the most time in the writing process. So you can never just write something, submit it, and hope for the best. That does not make you a good student. It also doesn't help you professionally do that on the job. So here's some, when we revise for consciousness, let's look at this just a moment. When you say a phrase like at this point, all you got to do is say now, due to the fact that, because, in very few cases, seldom, despite the fact that, although, in the near future. So Grammarly, the program that I recommended to you that you get for your computer, will point out all of these flabby expressions and give you some suggestions about how to fix them. Wordy, this is to let you know that next Monday is a holiday. All you had to say was Monday is a holiday. I'm sending this email to announce that our internal audit begins on January the 5th. You say our internal audit begins January the 5th. Look at the conservation of words there, where you go from wordy to concise. Most people will appreciate that. Most business writing, history writing, is not the warm and fuzzy stuff you learned in English with all the adjectives and the adverbs. Wordy, in this case, there are, there is. Don't try not to use there as a subject. Number one, it's empty. There's nothing in it that means anything. So at least turn it around and do something else with it. There are at least 10 candidates who applied for the position. At least 10 candidates applied for the position. It was Becca Lopez who was finally selected. Becca Lopez was finally selected. You don't need all those extraneous words in your writing. Then there are redundancies, things like combined together. All you got to say is combined. Exact same, exact or same, but not both. My personal opinion. My opinion is personal. You do not have to put the word personal in front of it. Refer back. Referring will always take you back to something. Look at these, purging empty words out of this statement. In the case of General Motors, the car company was reorganized. All you had to say was General Motors was reorganized. We are aware of the fact that many managers need assistance. We know many managers need assistance. When it arrived, I deposited your check immediately. All you had to say was I deposited your check immediately. So be very concise with your words. So basically, condensed messages for social media, things like microblogging, you want to be as concise as possible, include the main idea, choose descriptive but short words, personalize when it's possible, and be prepared to revise a lot of times for conciseness, clarity, and correctness. Tweet reply to an unhappy Bank of America customer at Bank of America help. Sorry you feel that way. If you change your mind and want to see if we can help, please direct mail me your name or name, zip, and phone number. So basically tweeting shortly. Improve clarity in business messages by keeping the idea simple, dumping trite business phrases, dropping cliches, avoiding slang and buzzwords, rescuing buried verbs, controlling exuberance, and choosing precise words. So make your presentation clear. Keep it short and simple. It would not be inadvisable for you to affix your signature at this point in time. You should sign now. Here are implements that are necessary for the job to be completed in a satisfactory manner. Here are the tools to do the job satisfactorily. So you want to get rid of trite phrases pursuant to your request as you requested. Please do not hesitate to. Please, with reference to, about, enclosed, please find enclosed is. You don't need all the extra words in the phrasing. Make sure your message is clear. Last but not least, we must cut costs. Finally, hey, Prof, what do you think of my killer paper? Professor, what did you think of my paper? Our point man will ping our presupposed proposal to you. Jake will call you with our revised proposal. But making your message clear, all of these you can use, just consider, conclude, reduce, decide. So you're replacing 3 to 4 verbs with words with the message. There's sometimes a lot of excessive exuberance. So use those words sparingly, very certain, definitely, quite, totally. And watch the superlatives when you say the most, the best, the greatest. You realize it's very difficult to prove that. You can also say one of the best. That's more provable than saying the best car in the world. You'd have to look at every car to see in the world before you could actually make sure that's true. But if you said one of the best cars in the world, you don't necessarily have to make that of the biggest and the best variety, and you'll be much better off. So you want precise meaning. Enhance readability by understanding document design, including the use of white space, margins, typefaces, fonts, numbers, bullet points, and headings. Don't just use them helter-skelter. Employ white space. You need a header. You need a 1-inch margin around your paper. You need bullet points and numbered this. Use short sentences. Don't write paragraphs in conversation and correspondence. You want to write shorter paragraphs, and you always set effective margins. Here's the margin, 1 to 1.5 inches. That's what it looks like here. And most of this I can let you just read it, but you want to be sure that you've got all of these things to work on. Proofreading, you're looking for spelling, grammar, punctuation, names and numbers, formatting. That's what you need to look for in proofreading, all of that, all the above. And amazingly, the Grammarly does all of that for you. So I would encourage you to look at getting that into your computer. So you're proofreading a document. You're looking for inconsistencies, and sometimes those documents can be rather complex. So you need to be very careful about how you do them. So we're evaluating your writing. Always ask yourself the question: will it achieve my purpose? How successful will this message be? Does it attract the reader's attention? Is it polished and clear? Does it say what I want it to say? And how will you know if it succeeds? Those are all viable questions that you need to think about. So in a nutshell, that is our presentation about writing and revising. Remember that it takes the longest time. So remember always to build in time to do your revisions of whatever you're working on. Okay, that's it for today, for this week. I will see you on Monday with the lectures for next week. If you have questions or need help, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to do my best to help. Thanks.